Callen and Sam Hanna from NCIS Los Angeles will soon join forces with Tennant and Alden Parker and others from the flagship show for the first ever three-way NCIS crossover on January 9th. First look promos and summaries of the episodes have already gotten people excited, and a new report that Gibbs, played by Harmon, will be in the crossover only added to the excitement. Stay tuned as we discuss Gibbs and the NCISverse event. First up, Gibbs will be featured in the event. Gibbs hasn't been seen on NCIS since the beginning of season 19 when he decided to start a new life in Alaska. His absence hurt the team, especially Sean Murray's character McGee. Even though he hasn't been seen physically in the show, he has been mentioned a few times throughout the series. But in the crossover, as the three teams work on a new case, there will likely be another reference to a character from an old series. When asked about the historical event, TVLine's Matt Webb-Mitovich said it's fun to watch the teams fight about seniority before going into more detail. When describing what viewers should look forward to, Matt let slip that there's a particular Gibbs presence in one of the sequences before quickly shutting himself up. Another thing to look out for is the fun meeting between Sam and Casey, and the highly awkward and uncomfortable scene shared by Dietzen and Torres. Fatima and Lucy will also team up for what we'll call a very pleasant audio Easter egg for fans of any one of the three series. Not just that, the three teams might even end up interrogating one of their own team members. Based on what has been said about the plots and details, it sounds like fans will not want to miss this 3-hour crossover. The event is truly shaping up to be exciting. However, it's still not clear yet how Gibbs' presence will be felt. Still, diehard fans of the show will be glad to hear the news that Gibbs is going to be featured in the show. But will Gibbs impact the storyline? That leads us to Gibbs' impact on the show. Even though Gibbs might not appear physically in the upcoming NCIS Season 20 crossover event, his influence could still be felt in some way. So what are we going to discuss here? Well, TVLine reported that Gibbs will be present in at least one scene during the 3 hours, which are now scheduled to air on January 9th. Now, it could be a small detail, a lesson he taught some of the other agents, or a reference to something we've already seen. But the bottom line is Gibbs will have some sort of impact on this event. Harmon, the actor who played Gibbs, still visits the NCIS set and is an executive producer, so we'd love for him to make a cameo, but nothing has been confirmed or even hinted at. But that doesn't rule out the possibility of him popping on the screen. Since Gibbs is connected to all three teams in a lot of ways, it makes sense that he would come up during the crossover. Tennant from NCIS Hawai'i also knew him, and he was a big part of how she got her job there in the first place. Even though Harmon isn't on the screen anymore, we're glad there are other longtime cast members who can enjoy the moment when all three shows come together. Take Sean Murray or Dietzen as examples. Both of them have been around since the first season, but they've never had a chance to do something like this that involves all three. Gibbs would make the event way much better, and it'd kill a particular fan's concerns. Moving on, fans are convinced that Gibbs is dead. A few pictures and plot details have been released to hint at what will happen on January 9th, but the latest hint came from actor Wilmer Valderrama, who said that former leading man Gibbs might leave the show. After all, Gibbs hasn't been seen in the NCIS world for quite a while. Since Gibbs left, Alden Parker has been in charge of Torres, Knight, McGee, and the rest of the team, and it has become less likely that Gibbs will come back. But could the top people at CBS really be planning his death? Fans are worried after Valderrama posted a new picture on Instagram. Valderrama is striking a pose with Sam, Callen, Jesse, and Tennant from NCIS LA, as well as Parker, McGee, Knight, and Jimmy Palmer. But the most interesting thing to notice is that the dream team of agents is standing around a body bag, and the shape of the sheet makes it clear that there is a body inside. Valderrama wrote in the caption that history will be made, #NCISverse. Fans wanted to know more about what was coming up, so one fan asked who is in the body bag. Valderrama dropped a worrying teaser and replied it's someone we all know, along with a few sad emojis. Followers who saw Valderrama's answer in the comments could not help but be worried. Fans quickly decided that Gibbs would be the most likely person to be the victim, and the panic began with fans pleading, "Please not Gibbs." We're with you on that one. Gibbs is such a great character, and the show can still use him. Next up, let's get behind the scenes of the event. CBS is bringing together NCIS, NCIS Hawai'i, and NCIS Los Angeles in a first-of-its-kind crossover event called the NCISverse, and it looks like the episodes have already started filming. In new photos shared by TVLine, the cast of the series looks like they are having way too much fun on the sets. In one image, Daniela Ruah, Yasmine Al-Bustami, Medalion Rahimi, and Vanessa Lachey strike a Charlie's Angels pose. Without giving away too much, Lachey, Dietzen, Jason Antoon, and Chris O'Donnell can be seen working together in a scene from their NCIS Hawai'i episode. In another picture, Ruah, Wilmer Valderrama, and Nick Lachey can be seen having a casual conversation behind the scenes. In the 3-hour special, teams from different divisions will come together in Washington, D.C. to honor a Federal Law Enforcement Training Center professor, or FLETC for short, who taught members of each squad. But the night before the party, their professor is found dead from what seems to be a suicide, and his former students immediately think something is wrong. The event will begin at 8 p.m. ET in the NCIS episode Too Many Cooks, and the teams will work together to investigate the suicide. That leads us to the creation of this event. An episode of NCIS Hawaii will follow the event called Deepfake, which will air at 9 p.m. In the episode, some agents will be captured, while others will find things that came to Hawaii that could be linked to several assassinations overseas. In the last hour of the 10 p.m. episode of NCIS Los Angeles called A Long Time Coming, the agents are ambushed and find out that each member of the team has a $200,000 bounty on their head. Amy Riesenbach, vice president of current programs at CBS, said when the crossover event was announced, the people behind the scenes came up with a thrilling story for this epic 3-hour event. According to her, this will creatively bring together all 3 NCIS teams for fans to enjoy in one night and beyond. Donald P. Belisario originally created NCIS in 2003, and the show's popularity led to the creation of several spin-offs: NCIS Los Angeles, Red, New Orleans, Hawaii, and Sydney. These shows deal with criminal investigations related to the Navy and have entertained viewers for decades. This year, NBC did something similar by putting together Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, and Organized Crime to make a 3-hour TV special that fans would love. It was very well received, and there's no doubt that fans of NCIS are in for a similar treat. Moving on, fans are hyped for the event. Even though the long-running CBS military cop show NCIS frequently gets crossovers with other similar shows, this 3-hour historic crossover has fans on their toes. CBS announced plans for the crossover between the main NCIS series and its 2 currently ongoing spin-offs, NCIS Los Angeles and NCIS Hawaii, following the debut of Season 20 on September 19, 2022. NCIS does crossover often with its own spin-offs, though. For example, Polly Perrette, who plays the goth scientist Abby Shudo in hundreds of episodes of the main NCIS series, is also in some NCIS Los Angeles episodes. All the shows take place in the same fictional universe, after all. However, when characters like Abby Shudo work directly with their counterparts in other cities, the worlds of the franchise's cornerstones become more connected. After many fans tweeted that they hoped this would happen, the official NCIS Twitter account posted a short video promoting the crossover. Even though the fans are divided on whether they approve or disapprove of the 3-way crossover, they all have strong opinions about the event. For example, one fan responded to the official NCIS tweet saying that they've waited for this for the longest time, while another user called the 2 NCIS spin-offs the most boring written series ever. Whatever the fans say, there's clear hype for the show, and the uproar over the delay is a clear indicator. That leads us directly to the uproar. CBS has decided to postpone its highly anticipated 3-way crossover event on NCIS by a week, and the fans weren't happy about it. The announcement came on Sunday, December 11th, during the network's coverage of the lighting of the national Christmas tree. The special crossover episode between NCIS, NCIS Hawaii, and NCIS Los Angeles has been rescheduled to air on CBS on Monday, January 9th at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Some fans were very frustrated since CBS didn't give a definite reason for the delay. One fan complained on Twitter about how long they would have to wait for the show to air. It's like they hate the fans. Some fans expressed their disappointment because January 2nd was more convenient, given that it was around the holidays. While some were worried, others pointed out that it's been delayed just by a week, and some people are acting like it has been delayed for an extra month. When an event like this happens in the franchise's history, you're pumped to the max, and delays are just going to bum you out. We hope that there won't be any more delays, and that we finally get to see the most anticipated event in the franchise so far. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Gibbs will appear in the crossover? And are you pumped for it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.